It's time for the wide toe box work boot series where we're going to cut apart and review all the top wide toe box work boots to pit them against each other to see who reigns supreme. And we're starting off with the Carets, the widest, newest, and maybe the dark horse of the race. So we're going to cut these things in half, run them through our tests to really figure out who makes the most durable wide toe box work boot, who makes the most comfortable, who makes the best value, and ultimately who makes the absolute best wide toe box work boot in the entire world. So who is Carets? Well, they're, like I said, a pretty new brand on the block that focus on wide toe box, more barefoot, minimalist style footwear. They actually have a really cool way of a visual optical illusion to make it look like it has a heel, but it doesn't. Check it out on their website. I'm not sure how long they've been around. I know they're fairly new, but one thing that is cool is they're called Carets because the mathematical symbol that represents to the power of, kind of a cool connection. And so when I saw they dropped their very first work boot, my interest was piqued. But they're mostly focused on dress shoes and more casual shoes. So I want to know if this is actually a real work boot or if it just looks like a work boot. So what is this boot? Well, the brand is Carets. The style is the Determination safety boot. They weigh a surprisingly light, especially for a steel toe boot, at 1 pound 12 ounces. They retail for $290. They're made in Mexico. And the way they position this boot is factory boots, not farm boots, which I'm not sure what that means. I guess we'll figure it out as we go along. Traditionally, work boots prioritize protection over comfort, sacrificing natural foot movement for safety. The Determination FG boot challenges this convention by combining robust and lab-certified safety features with the key principles of barefoot design. Engineered for firm ground environments, this innovative boot offers workers in various industries a new standard of protection and comfort. So if you do want a pair of these, check them out via links in my description. So now I'll start going through the details, and what we're really going to be testing is those questions. And so starting off with how durable are these boots, looking at the leather. Well, the leather thickness is pretty thick. It's 2.3 millimeters thick. Usually in work boots you see 2 to 3 millimeters thick. We looked at the cross section and they say it's a waterproof nubuck, and it is a nubuck. And if you don't know what that is, they just lightly sand the surface to hide any imperfections while still having a lot of the grain in there and to give it that matte look. It doesn't really add a lot of value to the durability, but it's worth noting because it is a superior and higher cut than suede. We did the burn test to see if there's any top coats on it. It seems like a pretty natural leather. We ran the puncture test, only 77 pounds, so not the best of all the puncture tests. And then looking at construction, since we're talking about durability, they say it's a Goodyear welt construction, which is the old school way of doing things, whereas modern boots are mostly foam based and glued together, direct injected. More traditional Goodyear welt is arguably more durable and more repairable than modern boots, but they're also more expensive and can be less waterproof. So we ran the waterproof test on the entirety of the boot, and it does seem like this leather is waterproof. It doesn't seem like it was absorbing any of the water, but because there's all these different holes going to the inside, these little cracks and stuff that a more modern boot wouldn't have, water did get to the inside of the boot. But it's not like they say it's waterproof, but you know, for a work environment, you might want to know how waterproof they are. And part of that's caused by the tongue, which we'll go over in a sec. So initial durability ranking, looking at construction and leather, I'd probably give it about a 6. And keep in mind, you know, this is a spectrum for maybe like 1 is like a little house slipper and 10 is like the beefiest, heaviest duty Pacific Northwest boot. And so 6 is not a bad ranking. And keep in mind too, this is the first one we're doing, so we have no context. So it'll change as we go, as we have more information to compare and figure out where this actually sits. But for now, I'm going with 6. This is all of our boot accessories that we've slowly developed over like the last 4 years as we've done more and more boot reviews and realized how many things are missing in the market. So be sure to check out all these below. They make great gifts, self-gifts, and it's a huge way that you can help support the channel. So check them out below. But what about how comfortable? When this kind of comes down to the lining and some of the other internal components. And if you look at the lining, it's built more like a modern boot where you have a mesh fabric lining, which is going to be more comfortable. It's going to absorb your sweat a little bit more. It can be a little bit more breathable than the leather lining. And one thing I really like is at the heel, it looks like this is a real leather heel counter. And that's at that heel where most people wear their boots out on the inside. And so I love that it has leather on the inside. But the downside of a fabric on the inside is it can wear out prematurely compared to leather. And that's why it's nice to have that little heel counter. And they just stink more. You know, so like a stink factor is a big part of this for me for the series because work boots stink. And synthetic materials are always going to smell more and faster than leather. But for the price point, I think it's right on par where it needs to be. Looking at the insole, it's a unique little insole because it's leather wrapped and folded around the edge. And I would rather have this be just a regular insole because you can see it kind of separates, and it's just a flat piece of foam that's open cell. So it's definitely not the highest quality insole, and it only rebounded up 9.5 inches on the ball drop test. You know, I'd be worried about this rolled edge causing pressure points on the corners of my foot. And we're also going to use these insoles to show you how wide the inside of the boot is. And since this is the first boot, we don't have anything to compare it to. So we'll compare it to a pair of Jim Greens and a pair of Keens, because those are both known for being wide toe boxes, but maybe not fully anatomical. And you can see how they compare. This has a little bit more of a natural shape than the Jim Green and a little bit wider than the Keens. Then looking deeper to the inside, you can't really see what is a lasting material because it's fully lined even down the insole, but it feels pretty firm. But maybe the next most important important thing for comfort is the midsole. This is a really, really thin midsole because keep in mind, this is a barefoot design. It doesn't even have a shank on the inside, I don't think. And the whole concept of this is to be articulate and malleable and feel the ground underneath your foot and reduce the squish to some degree. And it's a pretty soft foam too. It comes in at 55 Shore A. It's pretty thin at 3 millimeters thick. And you can see this Goodyear welt is sewn all the way through, sealing that welt, midsole, and outsole together to prevent delamination, because that's the one problem with foam as a midsole on traditional boots is it doesn't bond quite as well and it can start to delaminate. So it's nice that they got that welt. So looking at the lining, the insole, and the midsole, comfort ranking out of 10, 1 being maybe like a pair of clumps, not very comfortable, 10 being literally walking on a pair of clouds. So for comfort, initially, I'm gonna give it a 6. But we haven't seen what's on the inside, so it's a tentative score until the end of the video. But what about how these rank from like casual work boots up to the heaviest duty work boots in the world? A lot of that comes down to some of the materials like the outsole. This one comes in a 65 Shore A, so right where you want to see it for a work boot. It feels softer though. It's 5 millimeters thick. That's what they say, but actually it looks thicker. I think they might be wrong. Yeah, it's way thicker. Yeah, so it's 9 millimeters, 5 millimeters of lugs, 4 millimeters of the rest. So pretty thick for a barefoot boot, but really not as thick as what you'd see in like a true work boot, especially compared to a wedge sole. But what was crazy is we did the puncture test on this, and I thought this was a missed score because I was like, there's no way it almost did 400 pounds of puncture through this. But then when I was prepping for this, I read that they have an anti-puncture layer on the inside of this. We're gonna run it again just to make sure it was actually correct. But either way, over 300 pounds to puncture through this. And one thing that's really work-oriented is the steel toe. And this is actually a wide steel toe boot. Sometimes you see these wide toe box boots that say they have a steel toe, and then you actually pull the insole out and it's like, it's not even wide, it just looks wide. This is actually wide. And it has all these safety certifications. So we did the safety toe test on it, passed with flying colors. Honestly, it's not the worst looking safety toe. I really like the pattern of this lace toe pattern, which is also part of the functionality because wide toe box boots, they can also be too wide to where you can't, your foot slip around on the inside, but a lace toe pattern allows you to cinch that down and it just looks cool. But one thing that is not work ready is this tongue, because this tongue is only gusseted up to the 3rd from the bottom eyelet. Anything above this, it's not gonna be water resistant at all because it'll get in. If you have any gap in your boot, dirt and grime will get to the inside, water will get to the inside. It's not a deal breaker by any means because it's gonna be more breathable and there's some attributes that go with it, but that is not a dedicated work boot way of doing a tongue. How does this fit on the spectrum of work readiness? I'd probably say a 5. It'll work just fine, and I think they nailed it at the description. It's a factory boot, not a farm boot. It's gonna perform, it's gonna protect you, but it's not the heaviest duty, most rugged boot in the entire world. And I'm not even sure it's 100% Goodyear welted. So now let's cut these things in half, figure out if it is actually Goodyear welted, what made it so puncture resistant, and what other materials are they hiding on the inside to get it down to that sub $300 price point. This right here is my favorite child. But this right here is my dad's least favorite child. But there's still some hope for us because you can get a brand new Rose Anvil product made right here in the shop at 25% off. But you also get an apology letter to try to win back some love of your dad. So 25% off until Monday. Check it out below. All right, we got it cut in half, and if you're not subscribed, consider pushing that subscribe button. Let me know what else you want to see in this video, things you want us to cover, what other brands you want us to cover, because we still got some room for a couple. So give us your recommendations. And now, let's see what's inside. So is it Goodyear welted? Yes, it is. You can see that stitch going down through the midsole and outsole and into the inside of the boot. The filler material must be that puncture resistant material because that's like 4 millimeters of a really thick matted material. And then above that is another layer of a similar material. What's cool though is it's not really hard. It's actually kind of soft. And so this will break into the shape of your foot. It's gonna give you that puncture resistant. It's not as heavy as like a steel plate, or it's not as rigid as like a plastic or a hard rubber plate. It's honestly kind of surprising. As for other components, synthetic toe stiffeners, synthetic heel counter, you can really see how low that tongue is gusseted now. And you can see how thick this counter is. It's pretty thin. It's like maybe like a millimeter thick. So ideally you'd see something a little bit thicker, has a little more substance to it. It's still gonna be more durable than fabric. And one thing that is missing on the inside that we probably will see in the vast majority of the other wide toe box work boots is the shank. There's no shank in this boot whatsoever, which being a more barefoot style shoe with the articulation, the flexibility, the maneuverability, it makes sense. But it's something to keep in mind if you're working on ladders all day, or you're climbing on stuff, or you need support over your arch, this is not gonna give you any support. So now to the final rankings. How durable? I'd give it a 5. How comfortable? I think a 6. How work ready? I'd say a 5 as well. What about how does it look? I think it's a good looking boot. So I'd give it a 7 out of 10. And what about value? So per dollar spent, how good is this boot? I would say 7. But also we don't have anything to compare to. Take it all with a grain of salt. We'll start adjusting them as we go along. This is just kind of a preliminary initial look into it. So top pros of this, I love the lace to toe allowing a better fit. I love the puncture resistance. I love the steel toe and the overall look. The top cons of this boot, the gusseted tongue is gonna bother some people. Some people are gonna like it for the breathability, some people aren't. The price is still fairly high. You know, that's why it's a 7 out of 10 right now for me. But I don't think it's like far and away the wrong price. And ultimately, I think there's some things they could do to this boot to make it a little more work ready, a little more rugged, more durable, at the expense of some of the barefoot and some of the comfort, which for me, I would rather have that. You know, I'd rather have these be a little bit more beefed up, because these really are a light to medium duty barefoot work boot. You know, it is truly wide toe box. It's truly zero drop. It's fully articulate, but you lose some of the durability, materials, and support that you would get from a non-barefoot boot. So here's the spider plot of how we're ranking it. This will change once again, but let me know what else you guys want to see, what brands you want us to cover, and what you want us to cover specifically in this series, because this is a series that lots of people have needed. There's tons of people out there that have found like, oh, wide toe box work boots sound like the best thing ever. I'm standing in them all day, every day. But you never know what you're gonna get, especially with like wide toe box, more barefoot style stuff, because there's a lot of bullshit out there. So thank you guys for supporting the series. Check out our handmade leather goods we make right here in the shop. Check out our other videos of some wide toe box stuff we put in the description. Check out the collaborations we have coming up. That's how we're able to buy brand new stuff, literally just to destroy, to show you what you're actually buying. So thank you guys. See ya.